Hi there. Today in my Mounjaro journey, I'd actually like to talk not about mine, but about the differences between the US and the UK, something that really I haven't seen covered in anything or any videos on YouTube. And I'd just like to point it out because it just baffles me why there is such a difference between them. The two main differences are the price and also the pen format. Now, in the US, or in the UK rather, I got Mounjaro, so that's for the first 2 months. So that's 2.5 milligrams for the first month and 5 milligrams for the second month. And together, that cost me £230, which is in American around about $300. That's for 2 full months, okay? And I didn't have any help from the NHS or any private insurance. I just bought it by myself, just went out and ordered it. And that's how much it cost me. Whereas in the States, from my understanding, it costs around about somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 per month. So that's almost 10 times as much as it does in the UK. Now, why it costs that much, and also I think that Lilly, who make it, are, or at least the Mounjaro, are in the US. So why they're charging so much more in the US than they are in the UK, I have no idea. It's very, very strange to me. It baffles me. The second thing is the format of it itself. So from the images I've seen, in the US, you get a single pen, which is good for 1 injection for 1 week. And you get a box with 4 injections, and there's not much ability to move. You inject it, it all goes in, and that's it. In the UK, on the other hand, you get 1 pen, which is good for a whole month. So it's good for 4 injections. Okay, and then you turn it and it goes out 60 clicks, and then you punch it in and you depress it, and that gives you the dose that you need for the single week. And you've got 4 of those. Now, there has been some changes in the pens, so now the pens are only able to give you 4 of these injections. And then they sort of don't operate anymore. However, as you can see from the image, you can take the 4, and then there's another fifth, another dose, which is the 5th, or the golden dose, as they say, which can be used. Now, that can't be used directly through the pen, as I said, because it stops working. But what you can do is you can get a little syringe of 1 milliliter, and you can poke the rubber seal where the injection, or where the normal syringe goes in, that you use on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and you draw out the remaining liquid, and then you can manually put it into your body. So you can actually get 5 doses out of the single pen rather than 4. So it's even cheaper and even better. And also for what they call microdosing, you can actually control that. So each dose has 60 clicks, and then you can depress it and it all goes through. However, if you want to take half a dose, then again, in the US, you can't do that because you just depress it and it just goes in and it's a full dose and that's it. Whereas in the UK, because it's on clicks, you can count, if you want, let's say half a dose, then you can have 30 clicks, and then you can push it in and it will deliver exactly half a dose, which means that you can get a higher milligram per dose, but only inject half of it, which it also works out cheaper in the long run. So if, for instance, you want to have, let's say, 5 milligrams, then you can get a 10 milligram pen, and you can open up to 30 clicks, and then you can inject it. And then you will have at least 8, if not 10, because of the go-on doses. Now, true, you might have to use a normal syringe in order to extract the extra doses that you want beyond the 4. But as long as you're keeping it in the fridge, that shouldn't be a problem. Now, again, I would like to note that I am not a medical person or a technician. So, you know, this is just how I see things and how I'll do it. But you know, you don't need to, I'm not trying to give advice or say do this or do that. But I do think that this is how I'm going to act. And lastly, another thought is that if there's such a difference in the price between the US and the UK, then come over here for holiday, buy your Mounjaro or Trizepotide or any other GLP1 agonist that you want, go back to the States and use it for a whole month, and it will still cost you less, including the holiday and, let's say, a night in a hotel and the Mounjaro, than it would be just to buy Mounjaro straight in the US. So, you know, it is a good idea for you to come on a holiday, especially now that we've got good weather and it's nice and the summer's coming up. So I hope to see you all here. And again, if you have any thing to say about this or any comments, then please do share. Okay? Have a great night. Cheers. Bye.